everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the Kayla cincher made by Glamorous Corset. So here's the front, the side, the back, and the other side. For the length and fit of this corset, the center front here is 11 inches. At the princess seam here, it's 7.5 inches. 4 of those inches are from the waist up and 3.5 are from the waist down, and this is measured from the bottom of the waist tape. The side seam here, it's 7 inches, and in the center back, it comes up again, so it is a little bit longer at 10 inches. And for the circumferential measurements, today I'm wearing a size 22, and when I measured this corset right out of the box, brand new, it indeed measured 22 inches closed waist. The rib cage measures 25 inches, so it has a 3-inch rib spring. But where I measured it from was from the lowest point on the ribs here on the side, and then I measured it straight across, horizontal, parallel to the waist tape through the front and the back here. So it's not a true underbust measurement per se. It's a little bit lower down on my rib cage. Obviously, it depends on the length of your torso as well. I can accommodate another 2 inches or so above where I measured the rib spring here. And for the hips, they measured 28 inches, measured once again from the highest point on the side seam straight across. So it has a 6-inch hip spring. The silhouette is very gentle. It's a concave, swooping, U-shaped silhouette here, whereas a smooth transition from the rib to the waist to the hip here. So if you are naturally very curvy, you might want to choose a different style that has perhaps more rounded rib cage and rounded hips here. Also keep in mind how your body tends to respond in a corset and how it tends to squish. So if you squish down, then a small rib spring might not be such a big deal for you, but if you squish up, like I tend to, just keep in mind that where the cincher kind of like sweeps down lower over the side of the rib, you might get a little bit of visible squish here, so just be aware. So let's go to the tabletop portion of this review and I can show you the other details of this corset close up. So here is the Kayla corset laid flat, and for the materials, it's all cotton twill. So the fashion fabric is cotton twill, it's got a cotton interlining as well, and there is a lining of cotton twill as well. Here is what the Glamorous Corset label looks like on the inside, as well as the fabric content and cleaning instructions. And the size label is actually at the top here, size 22, and they have this on both sides of the corset. This has a 6-panel pattern. So 1, 2, 3 make the front, 4, 5, 6 make the back, and panels 1 and 2 converge down towards the lower tummy. Panels 3 and 4, a little bit of curve over the hip here, and 5 and 6 round out the back. And like with all other Glamorous corsets, this was constructed using the welt seam method. All the seam allowances are pointed towards the back, and you can see a small top stitch on both the fashion fabric and the lining here, and it's double boned on the seams. And turning to the inside, you may see a faint outline of the waist tape. You can see that it's sandwiched invisibly between the layers. It's about 1 inch wide, if you can see the outline of it, and it extends from the center front here by the busk to at least back here. And on this side, yeah, I can see that it goes at least to panel 6. So the binding in this corset is made from bias strips of black cotton twill, machine stitched on both sides. So it's stitched in the ditch on the outside, and on the inside you can see that they did not fold it under. They opted to just serge or overlock this edge and then just stitch it down. So probably because the binding might have been a little bit too bulky if they folded it under one more time. Yeah, that's how the inside looks, and it also has 6 garter tabs, 3 on each side. The Modesty panel in this corset is about 5.5 inches wide, and it is unstiffened, attached to one side of the corset here, which you can remove if you don't like Modesty panels. Just take a seam ripper and remove that seam, and it's finished in black cotton twill on both sides. There is also a 1/4 inch wide Modesty placket extending out from the knob side of the busk here, unstiffened and finished in black cotton twill. The busk in this corset is 10 inches long, and it has 5 loops and pins. The last 2 are a little bit closer together for more control over the tummy. It is a standard flexible busk, so it's 1/2 inch wide on each side, and it is typical rigidity. There are a total of 24 bones in this corset, 12 on each side. So it's double boned on the seams here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and these are all 1/4 inch wide spiral steel bones. You can see that they do attract my magnet. And in the center back here, there are 2 1/4 inch wide flat steel bones, and this attracts my magnet a little bit less. So when I had opened up some previous Glamorous corsets, I discovered that they use stainless steel boning for their flat steel bones. And because stainless steel is less ferrous, it contains less iron, it also attracts my magnet a little bit less. And there are surprisingly a lot of grommets in the back of this corset for it being quite short. There's a total of 24 of them, 12 on each side. They are size 00 with a small to medium flange around them and finished in silver. And they are less than an inch apart. I mean, they're not quite equidistant in some places, but they tried. And they're probably like somewhere around like 3/4 of an inch apart in most places here. You can see that they're holding in fairly well. And a close-up of the underside, so you can see that there are washers present. They're all holding in pretty well. They do have splits in the back of these, but because of the laces, they don't catch on the splits. And the laces in the back are your standard black 1/4 inch wide flat nylon shoelace style lacing. A little bit of spring to them, but not like very stretchy. It holds the knots and the bows well. Definitely long enough, does not catch on the splits on the grommets, so it does its job. The Kayla corset is available in the black cotton you see here, and I believe Rachel, who owns Glamorous Corset, said that it would also be available in tan, in solid cotton, and possibly in mesh as well. And it costs $84. Now they offer free 2-day shipping for anybody in the US, and they are able to ship anywhere in the world now. So this concludes my review of the Kayla by Glamorous Corset. I hope you enjoyed this and you learned something new. If you did, please remember to click that like button down there as it helps support this channel. If you have this corset or a different corset by Glamorous Corset, feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know what you think of it. And as always, if you have any comments or questions about this corset or Glamorous Corset in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer your questions or forward your questions over to Rachel. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye.